Hello, friends from Five Reasons. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining us and thank you very much for subscribing. We're getting closer and closer to the 14,000 subscribers here in the Five Reasons YouTube channel. And then, obviously, thanks to you guys. Today, what we're going to do, we're going to put together all the reactions from last night from the first game of the season for the Miami Heat, the 137 to 95 win against the current champions, the Milwaukee Bucks at FTX Arena. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. First, we're going with our coach, Eric Spolstra. This is what he said after that blowout game, 137 to 95.
Spo, does it have to be like prearranged to get Udonis to accept the invitation, or what how does that work?
Yeah, I mean that was just great hearing everybody, chant, his name and everything. He doesn't need to go in there, that's just all love from 305, which was really cool.
Eric, obviously it went very well in the preseason. Could you have foreseen something like this? And to that end, was there a little bit of that memory edge that was in play in this game?
Look, I don't know. You definitely can't predict games. It's competition, so you have no idea what's going to happen. I think, there's a lot of different factors, probably a lot of things that are true about it. I think the biggest thing is our group is excited about, this season and the opportunity we have as a team together. And you guys have had a really good training camp. They've been preparing for this regular season, and I think everybody was just looking forward to starting off. And there's, of course, it's fun to play against, the reigning champions. But all the other storylines, I don't know. I think there's just more excitement from within about this group and the opportunity.
So when you were sitting back and kind of formulating this offseason with your collection, what were you going to do with the collection of guys? What was the deciding factor in choosing to put Bam in more post up, kind of not only score but score first situations?
I think this is just the constant evolution, of a great player. Each year he's added to his game, and we continue to try to maximize all the different areas on the floor. With him as a playmaker, as a screener, as a post-up player, at the elbow, all of these things, are going to help our team, and add to the menu and our versatility, and our diversity. All that stuff, his ability to, be assertive, just helps everybody.
So we talked so much about the pace in the preseason today, 22 fast break points. What did you like about the way you guys ran off misses and also the turnovers, that generated some of those points?
Yeah, we have, some quick guys, and guys that can anticipate, quick hands, and see plays, before they actually happen. We were good at, forcing turnovers. In previous years, we just didn't necessarily convert them, well. I think that'll be a good quality, for this team, going forward. And then the pace and the random situations. We have a lot of guys that have good instincts, good feel. They're all unselfish, so they'll make, more often than not, the right play. And it was 22 fast break points, but there's probably double that in terms of kind of the random situations, and Kyle's a big part of that. But Jimmy and Bam just fit into that style.
And then PJ, those first 8 minutes that he gave you.
He's really inspiring. He's so inspiring. Everybody, Heat Nation was able to see this, tonight. He's literally like this in every single practice. You have to dial him down. I mean, he's competing every single possession like it's his last possession. He's yelling at people, to do their job defensively, and all the details and everything. He just takes so much pride on that side of the floor. But that level of intensity, it's also with extremely high intelligence level defensively. So he can pick up on a lot of different schemes. He's a great communicator, all of that stuff. It just activates your defense, activates our guys who are also, really good defenders as well.
Eric, last year it didn't seem like Jimmy had as many opportunities to kind of operate one-on-one. Tonight, clear outs, help defense not coming, in part because I guess your spacing was pretty good. But how much easier, not that's easy, but how much easier is the game going to be for Jimmy this year with what you have around him?
I think, he has that skill set that you can play him really anywhere. And so the last couple of years, we played him, effectively at the point forward position a lot. And I think that really helped him and us. In some of these random post or ice situations, the ball is on time, on target, right where you can take advantage of it. And the spacing then really becomes critical, from there. But he can read defenses and read what's necessary as well as anybody in this league. And advantages by the inches. UD mentioned that because they play one-on-one all the time, and UD has just mentioned how smart Jimmy is. If he just sees a little bit of a turn or a twist of a defender, he knows how to take advantage of that.
To that end, Eric, they were going to cut down on unnatural shooting acts. There were some people concerned Jimmy wouldn't get to the line as much.
I never was concerned about that. Jimmy has never been a flopper. He's never been a guy that's trying to trick the officials. He's rugged. He's physical, but he has a great knack for going through contact. It's not as if those aren't earned. I mean, those are mini car wrecks when he's drawing fouls and going to the line.
Without getting into who should have been on, who was off, who whatever, what was the process of voting for the top 75 players for you?
Well, I won't get into all of them, but without a doubt, the first guy that I voted for was Bob McAdoo, without a doubt. I was like, okay, that was really one of the reasons when they asked me if I wanted to do it. Your first instinct is, whoa, that's some pressure. Who else are you asking? And obviously they've asked virtually everybody to get a wide spectrum of people to vote. But I was like, okay, well, Bob should have been on that top 50. So if I can do anything, I'm going to do it just so I can make sure that hopefully he gets that vote and it's a vote that counts. But he's so deserving of that. Just saw him right now in the locker room. He's really excited about that. And then all the other, Heat guys, of course, as well, I think is really cool. So I just kind of went down one by one, Heat guys, come on, what are you supposed to do? And, Enzo and CB, they were like, right there at the top of my list too. So.
What Tyler's doing now, there seems to be a joy with his play, cast in a role where he can sort of play, sort of a little of his isolation game and just play free. Are you noticing that? Has that been evident since the start? And how helpful will that be to your team?
He's improved each year as well. And so sometimes the narrative can spin out of control about last year. He did have some injuries. Coverages were different. I think teams were way more aware of him. And yet, bottom line, baseline numbers were better than the year before. But I think just going through that kind of struggle and the adjustments, that teams were making against him, for him to go through that, I think was really important. And then, playing at times, sometimes point guard for us. That was a big time learning experience for him. And then now, you can play him with the ball, without the ball, running off screens on the baseline. You can play him as a secondary point guard third point guard. He has that kind of skill set, and his confidence is just continuing to grow.
All right, that was Coach Spolstra talking a little bit of what he liked about this first game of the season. Now let's go with the players. Let's start with our leading scorer, Tyler Hero, who's scored 27 points, had 5 assists, and also 6 rebounds in 24 minutes yesterday for the Miami Heat.
Tyler, obviously it is just one game, but that is the team that ended your season last year and had a lot of success against you guys. And yes, they were shorthanded tonight, but how good does it feel to get one back against these guys?
It feels amazing. Obviously, anytime you can win the opening game is always good. But obviously, last year we felt like we got embarrassed. Getting swept in the first round. So, anytime we can bounce back and get revenge in a way, it just feels good to always get a win.
Is there a natural feeling of a carryover from the preseason, or is this just a natural feeling of you're Tyler Hero and this is who you are and what's going to be? Like, in other words, what's driving this? Because it's been so consistent through the preseason and now into the season.
I think just the group of guys that are around me, I'm able to be myself, and they want me to be myself. They feed life into me every single day. But this is who I am. Whether it's preseason or regular season, we just treat it all the same.
Tyler, it's still early, obviously, but how well have PJ and Kyle just fit in with you guys, and how much are they making the game easier for guys like you, Jimmy, and Bam?
Yeah, they just impact winning in so many different ways, and the way that they're out there just competing, and they're so unselfish. And I think our whole locker room is full of a bunch of guys who are unselfish, willing to share the ball, willing to sacrifice. So I love the group of guys we got, and I think the sky's the limit for us.
Tyler, a lot of great moments tonight, but what was going through your mind when Max had the chase down block at the end of the first? You hit the three, the roof almost wanted to blow off the place.
Max made a hell of a play on the ball, being able to first just give that effort to be able to stop that fast break, and then once I got the ball, I just took a quick glance at the clock. I think there was like 4 seconds left. I took a couple dribbles and let it go.
So just to add on about Kyle, you're playing with another primary ball handler. First game, obviously it went really well. What did he do to really enhance you tonight? Obviously you scored 27. It goes pretty well. So, what were your first impressions of the fit with Kyle?
I love playing with Kyle. My first two years in the league, I didn't really have, a point guard that can get everyone organized into their spots. And that's no knock on, my previous teammates. It's just, the way that Kyle gets everyone to their spots, how he's a leader. He just understands the game at a level that not many people do. So just being able to play with him and, learn from him and, just being next to him is, obviously amazing for me.
Tyler, I know everybody talks about scoring, and that tends to be how they judge players, or particularly when you came in. But tonight in 24 minutes, in addition to 27 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, how far do you think you've come in terms of your overall floor game?
I've come a long way. Obviously, I've always liked to think of myself as someone who can do more than just shoot. But I think, the way that this organization and, this coaching staff has really, helped me take my game to the next level with the ball in my hands, being able to see the game. And before things happen, I couldn't thank them enough so far. So, just being able to continue to get better every single day is my focus right now.
Tyler, from the outside looking in, it certainly looks like Bam is being more aggressive, and he's been using more scoring situations, post-ups and so on. But being with him for the last couple of years, does his approach seem different to you?
Bam's always been someone who's aggressive. In my eyes, he's, obviously he's a world class player. Obviously, how good he is and how much talent he has. I think, we want Bam to be himself and continue to attack. He can score in so many different ways. So, yeah.
All right, Tyler, thank you.
Yeah.
That was Tyler Hero talking a little bit of what he felt. Obviously, the influence of having Kyle Lowry there helpful, even though he only scored 5 points, only had 6 assists. You could see the change and how the team played the game. So that was Tyler Hero. Now let's listen from Jimmy Butler. Well, let's see what he said. It was a really short one. He said something to Ethan really funny. So here's what he said right after the 137-95 win of the Miami.
Jimmy, was this statement about who you guys are? Was this statement about opening night? Or was this statement a little bit in part about what happened against Milwaukee in last year's playoffs?
It was just another game for us, honestly. We came out, executed our game plan the way we talked about it. Guys were aggressive, tried to fit into their roles to the T, and we played well. Definitely, we're down some guys, but we take these dubs as they come.
Jimmy, what's been the biggest difference with your offensive role with Kyle on the court? And how do you think it's maybe freed up maybe other parts of your game?
Kyle's always looking to pass the ball to guys to get them easy buckets, get them in their spots. I think I get to focus on, putting the ball in the basket a lot more. I like that. I work on it consistently. I think these guys in his locker room feel comfortable with me shooting any shot, with T shooting any shot, Duncan, Bam, all the way down the line. With Kyle playing the way that he plays, it gives everybody freedom to just hoop.
Jimmy, last year, it seemed anytime that maybe they were trying to isolate you, that the double would come. And tonight, the clear outs, the doubles didn't come quite as often. You were able to take advantage of that. Is that part of, again, the advantage of having more spacers, more creators, that maybe you may get a little less attention and you can take advantage of that this year?
Yes and no. I don't think anybody's going to show everything that they got first game of the season. But I'm expecting double teams, and I'll always make the right play. Sometimes I won't. I'll definitely try to shoot over them sometimes. But, you just take what the games gives you. And I feel like everybody's so comfortable out there. If you double, we got shooters that's going to make shots.
Jimmy, getting back to Kyle, you guys have said you guys wanted to play together. How did it just live up, emotionally, having your friend on the floor there, just the fun of it?
That's my guy. It's definitely a blessing to share the floor with him. Everybody knows how much love I have for him. But more than anything, I hope that motherfucker know my daughter's birthday is tomorrow, and I want a really expensive gift. 100,000 plus, Kyle. 100,000. She needs that. Yeah, damn my ass. 100,000. That's it. Thanks, guys. Kyle, 100,000. I'm not fucking around.
And finally, after listening to our friend Jimmy Butler, let's finish it off with Bam Adebayo, who ended up with 20 points, 13 rebounds, so a double-double, and 1 assist. He wasn't really focused on assisting other people. He was more aggressive and really had a very good game, especially facing Giannis as a defender. So here's what Bam Adebayo said about the game.
Bam, I know your inclination is to move the ball, to pass, to facilitate, but it seems with Kyle here that there's a little more eyes on the rim, a little more attack mode. Do you feel freed up to do that? Is that just the next step in your evolution with your off-season conditioning and strength gain? Like, where is that and why is that?
It's really because of Cal, in all honesty. The way he pitches the ball ahead, the way he the way he keeps the pace going. I feel like it's a big part of Cal. He knows to get other people involved, and his biggest thing is to get me and Jimmy to our spots.
And then the other part of it is when you were aggressive early, you got in the bonus as a team early. I think you drew personally like 5 fouls on them in like the first 5 or 6 minutes. So how important is that to sort of have that aggressive bent now and maybe sort of create a little bit of your own chaos?
I gotta make my free throws, but it's great because at the end of the day, I get going, then Jimmy gets going, then you got Tyler coming off the bench, and when you have that type of scoring, it just makes it easier for everybody.
Bam, I know it's early, but including preseason, your post-ups have pretty much doubled. Did you go to Spo asking for the ball more on the post, or did he tell you that's where you're gonna get the ball more from now on?
I feel like that was more of my assertiveness. You know, I came back from the Olympics looking to work on my game. Like I've been doing, trying to improve every year, and you know, I feel like he's one of those coaches where he sees, you know, when he sees opportunity, he sees success. You know, he doesn't go away from that. You know, he keeps feeding into it, and he wants me to be the best version of me.
And we talk about Kyle allowing you to be more aggressive, offensive. Have you noticed him have a similar effect on Jimmy? And how have you kind of noticed Jimmy's game, maybe an offensive role kind of adjust with Kyle?
I didn't realize Jimmy only took 10 shots today. Yeah, exactly. But that's his thing. You know, they've been in this league a long time, so you know, watching each other and you're playing against each other, you get used to people's tendencies. So I feel like Jimmy's in a mode where he's you know looking at the rim first, also, and you know he makes plays from there.
Man, PJ had said leading up to this game that he did have it circled because he's no longer with the Bucks. What can you say about his intensity that he brought in that first quarter?
I mean, from the jump, you could tell he was about business. I know we had a chip because of what happened to us last year, but you know, seeing him coming off of championship and then also wanting to be in the trenches, wanting to fight, wanting to get that W. Most guys I feel like would have been like, oh man, it's cool, whatever. But PJ has that dog mentality. You can definitely see he's a part of the kennel. So, you know, he was definitely the biggest reason why we won because of the way he started the first quarter.
Yeah, Bam, to add to that, you spent a lot of the past couple of years playing with other big men that were more offensive specialists, shooters. How much easier does it make your life to play with PJ in the front court, who's such a great defender?
Like you just said, it's an extra defender. You know, he did a lot of things out there today that helped us win. And as you can see from the plus minus, he only had 8 points, but he had the highest plus minus. And to me, that shows a lot about his way to impact winning.
Bam, your positioning on offense is closer to the rim now. How does that help you facilitate a little more? Is that by something that Spo put you there, or is that something now that you don't have to facilitate off the elbow, you sort of just got to that spot?
I'm picking my spots more. I can say that. Like I said, Kyle gets everybody involved, so you know, me and Jimmy can focus on scoring, being aggressive, and then after that, making plays. But from the initial, it'll be Kyle, you know, playmaking and getting us involved.
You said you came back from the Olympics and worked on your game, added to your game. What did you, specifically with post-ups, what did you add to your game to make you want to play in that part of the floor more?
What you mean?
What did you add to your game to post up more? Where'd you get better at in the post?
My jab jumper. I feel like that was one of the things that I really improved on, and just making easy reads in the open court. If I see a one-on-one matchup, attack the matchup, and then let the chips fall where they left.
All right, we'll take one via Zoom from Mateo Mayorga.
Bam, last season the Heat were 29th in rebounding, and tonight you guys dominated the champs in that category by 20 boards. Is this the level of intensity that should be expected in that category going forward?
I feel like we need to play that type of physical basketball every night. You know, it helps us, obviously. And on top of that, if we're getting, you know, defensive rebounds, that means we're getting in transition and we're running. And we're being those teams that's keeping that pace. And it just helps us.
And that was Bam Adebayo. Thank you very much for joining us today in our 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe and go and check out today's episode of 5 on the Floor with Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, and Alex Torito. Both Ethan and Alex went to the arena last night, so they recorded there right after the game, and it's going to be available here soon, if it's not already, on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Thank you. Have a good day, and we will see you soon again here. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and turn on the notifications so you get an alert every time we post a video. Bye-bye. Have a good day.